I know that Melissa, so first of all, we want to send our love to Melissa. She's not feeling well today. And so we hope that she gets better. I know that she wanted to talk about networking today and kind of give everybody an opportunity to talk about how they network, how it works for them. I know right now we're networking, so there's going to be more people coming on online, but I wanted to kind of, first of all, have the mastermind team introduce themselves to the audience, and then we'll take it from there. So, Kat, we're going to start alphabetical. Kat.
I am Catherine Schuller, and I have a company called Runway The Real Way, and I do event production, and I also curate a show called hiTechMODA and Regen Runway, which is the sustainable entity of hiTechMODA. So I'm really concentrating on more production than anything else now, and that requires a lot of networking. So I love this kind of topic because I feel like networking is my specialty and my hobby, and it's something that I did live and something I'm perfecting during COVID. So I'm anxious to share all my insights and some ways I've been coming up with new and different ways to bring people in and have them, part of our production. And we'll get into it in depth as we go on through the mastermind today. So I'm happy to be here and excited to share all of our insights as always.
I love it, and you're such a great connector. So I can't wait to hear what you got to say, Kat. And what about you, Dale?
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Dee, for having me today, and best wishes and lots of hugs and healing for you, Melissa. Looking forward to seeing you next week. So I am Dale Noel. I am the CEO and founder of True Model Management and True Intermedia, and I represent models of all sizes, shapes, ethnicities before it was trending, and we collaborate with many organizations for events, and we provide whatever type of models brand clients and manufacturers need. We have a niche in fashion technology, and we are pioneering body scanning and avatars of models and different new ways that models can work with clients these days. We also collaborate with Dee, the DCG Media Group, and we have working spaces and photo studios. So if anyone needs space in New York City, we'd love to help you create some content or just host you for an event or whatever you need, just a simple meeting. So feel free to reach out anytime. And as far as networking, I feel like that has just always been part of my personality since before I knew what the word networking was.
Yes.
And it wasn't something I really I didn't really study it. It was just came somewhat innately. I guess I was in, ever since I was a young girl, I started working, I think before it was legal to work, I was always working. And along the way, I would just learn tips from mentors I had as, a teenager working, in telemarketing sales and things like that. And I was always a note taker, and with my friends growing up, I was always friends with, people from church or people from camp or people from different schools. And my best friend was from the rival town. And I was always like putting all people who would never have known each other together. And I just thrive on connecting people. Like, it's my passion, whether I'm involved or not.
Fabulous at it.
Oh, thank you,
I
Kat.
love
Thank
it.
you too. Yeah, but we can jump right in. I could get chatty, so just cut me off when you want, and we'll get into it.
Thanks for sharing all that good stuff. I am Dee Rivera. I am the CEO of DCG Media Group, and I am hosting for today. Melissa is not able to make it today, but she sends her love, and she created this amazing topic today called networking, right? Virtual networking. And we are all literally doing this more and more with it, like over a year. It's been over a year.
Yeah.
Everybody has officially networking. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to throw some questions out there. Anybody could answer. I'm going to try to let everybody on so that we could actually network.
Great.
But the question is, how has the networking been working for you now on Zoom? Do you prefer Zoom networking as we're all used to that now, or do you want to go back to live events? So before we start those questions, I want everybody to mute their mic. I'm going to address the questions to each panelist or anybody who's on here so that nobody will talk over each other. And we will have a minute to share our thoughts. So let's start with you, Kat. So do you prefer this online networking? Do you feel like it's worked better for you, or do you prefer the live events, or do you think you rather have both?
That's a good way to start this, because I feel like I've learned a lot about how to pivot and get into the virtual space and how to make that virtual space warm and fuzzy. Not easy. So I was always going to, like Dale, like 2 or 3 events a week, maybe 2 or 3 events a night, you know, and I really, I think one of the best things you can do as a networker is to listen and to become a friend to people and build a relationship. So that's what I wanted to translate into this virtual space. And I think with the advent of Clubhouse recently, that has been a very interesting way to connect with people and really effective. And I don't know if everyone's on Clubhouse yet, but I think it's a bit of a time suck abyss, you know, that you can fall into. And so I prefer to do the Clubhouses that are 1 or 2 hours, get in and get out, make the topics, and, you know, but it's all a listening platform. You can't see anybody, you can't screen share, you have to go under their profile and then learn who they are. They sometimes have networking shares with profiles like we're doing right now. But I highly recommend, you know, exploring that. It's been one of the best, most effective ways, because I feel like I've had to set things up with people, participate in summits, participate in online meetings to get to know them, you know, get to know people and reach out, watch what they're doing, pay attention to their posts and respond to them. And that was a slow build. I totally can't wait to get back to, you know, in-person events. And I think it will, because of us being used to this virtual format, be a hybrid now. I think we'll be doing both. And I just feel like almost like a dating site where you get to know each other and then you meet and or work on something or create a collaboration. And I'm working with people in India now, in Bangalore, in Egypt, and I would never be able to have a networking meeting with them. So I am so grateful and thankful for the internet and for just the way that I'm very proud of all human beings and how we've been able to stay in touch with each other and not feel social isolation. Social distancing does not mean social isolation.
Yeah, those are very good points, Kat. What about you, Dale?
Well, for me, like most aspects of my life, I like a hybrid of old school and modern day technology. So for me, I think the hybrid is best. I, like Catherine, also used to be at events, like multiple events a night, either hosting an event and having multiple events to stop by and say hello to, or, you know, so I have to say COVID, it was a bit of a pause of that for us to catch our breath a little bit, because we go. And even though I have tons of energy, I have to say it was a much needed break from going out every single event. It's hard to say no, even though I said no to a lot, there's still so much to go to, especially living in New York City and, you know, being in Miami and California, the big cities quite often. So for me, definitely the hybrid, and any type of social interaction I think is fantastic. And being that we have more global connections now online, and I think it's, since you're sitting at the computer more, you could keep it, it's a little more time to keep things organized, and, you know, with the CRM and your contacts and tagging them and keeping people, you know, notes about everything that's going on has been a little bit easier, although it's been very busy during COVID. I think it's great. And all the platforms, I think, have been helpful, you know, LinkedIn, Clubhouse. I've been asked to speak at more webinars and teach at summits and, you know, classes online, and people reach out to you from there. So if there's anything that I love to share information and share knowledge. So if you're the type of person like that, I highly recommend to get involved with groups like Fashion Mingle and reach out to Dee and Kat. They're always, you know, hosting events, and you could sponsor an event or get involved. It's really about getting involved and, you know, caring about people and caring about your business. And it is really long-term relationships that I feel like, you know, sometimes I get reached out to by people that I met 30 years ago, and it's like, wow, you know, I just saw this and it made me think. And, you know, a lot of connections through people, I mean, I find most valuable, but meeting anyone is great.
So both of you mentioned hybrid, right? Like you do the virtual plus the live events, and you know, I'm still doing live events, and we're doing a whole bunch of stuff this year. So for you guys, I know you mentioned social media like Clubhouse. Do you feel like Clubhouse will be like where everybody will go versus Instagram versus Facebook? Like, where do you see Clubhouse going? Because obviously, you know, Facebook owns Instagram, Twitter, and you know, Clubhouse right now, it's in its own entity, but we never know. So do you feel like Clubhouse is gonna like take over? Because it's already been viral, like everybody's on Clubhouse.
Yeah.
So where do you see that going? Kat, you got 60 seconds.
Yeah, I have watched it really skyrocket and spiral to a point where I wonder if it's going to be able to keep up the pace, because it's still in beta right now. And it has been very effective for me, because I can go onto people's profiles and look at what they do and have, you know, infinite amount of connections. And the only thing I've noticed is you can't mention when you ping somebody that you met them on Clubhouse, because Clubhouse now is shadow banning, and they don't appreciate that you're going to Instagram and mentioning that you met them on Clubhouse. So if you meet somebody, just say, really great discussion that I heard you mention such and such on the other night, and then go from there. Because if you say even CH, if you put CH in there, it's a shadow ban. So I think it's morphing into something very quickly that I don't know if it's going to be able to keep up with its pace, because it's pretty phenomenal. It's a pretty phenomenal, powerful network that they've established.
Oh, so all the social media platforms are like throwing shade at each other, and they're like hateration. But anyway,
throwing shade.
Throwing shade. So what about you, Dale? Are you on Clubhouse, or do you, because I know you're in a different industry, you're with modeling, you're with fashion, you deal with clients. So how are you networking? Are you pretty much doing calls, like, you know, how everybody does? They do calls, they do Zooms, or are you on Clubhouse? Are you wanting to do Clubhouse? Would Clubhouse be a good fit for the industry that you're in?
Yeah, I am meeting people in person as well as calls, emails, all the social media platforms, LinkedIn. I am on Clubhouse. I get invited to speak on Clubhouse. I haven't hosted my own room. I do think it would be beneficial to me and my business, but I'm still an Android person. I'm planning to stay one, and they just, you know, I was using Friends. I'm with you on that,
Dale. I'm with you on that.
Yeah. So I've been using friends' iPhones every time I'm invited to speak on Clubhouse, but I can switch over now. I do think, you know, they have a lot of Silicon money, investor money behind them at Clubhouse. So I believe that they'll keep going strong for a while. I have no idea what the future holds, if it will sustain itself like, you know, LinkedIn or one of the ones that has been around for a while and is really powerful that everyone goes to. I hope that it will be for some time so we can make more connections. But every day a new company is coming out with a different technology, and one company is being bought up by another and morphs into something else. So I don't know, but I think we should enjoy it and use it as much as we can while we have it. And then, you know, maybe one of us will come up with the next great idea, and we'll invite you where we should all meet.
Yes. Well, we know that Fashion Mingle is going to be growing and becoming its own thing. I can't share,
Yeah.
but I know Melissa's has some really amazing plans for Fashion Mingle. So I do want to open this up to everybody else. So if those who want to be on screen with us and have this conversation about how are you networking, how's it working for your industry, you can unmute. I'm going to call you by name because we don't want everybody to overlap and talk over each other. But I do want you to share how you're networking. How is it working for you now virtually? Do you prefer the live events the way things used to be, or do you prefer it hybrid, or do you prefer just this way? And if this way, this virtual networking is working for you, how are you doing it in your specific industry? So anybody who wants to unmute their mic, that way I can see who wants to share. And then I already see some people unmuting their mics, so that's great. So I'm gonna call you, but if you want to go on screen, you can. If you're not makeup ready, that's okay. You could do your makeup while you're talking and then get on screen. So,
we like you natural. It doesn't matter what you look like. Just come on. We want to hear what you have to say and know you on the inside.
Think there's anybody natural, but
It's Good Friday.
Let's talk to, let's see, who do I have here? Tracy. Tracy,
Hi.
are you with us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Welcome.
Okay. Awesome. Hi, thanks you guys. I love Fashion Mingle. I watch you guys all the time. I'm like kind of stealth. I'm kind of light stalking all of you guys. But I use all the social media platforms. I have accounts on all of them, I should say anyway, but I definitely use Fashion Mingle, and then I definitely use Clubhouse. I think Clubhouse is going to blow up. Again, there may be some technical limitations later on. I agree, it's getting very popular very quickly, but I like doing both, and I think you almost have to do both at this point. You know, the actual job, I do modeling, and I'm actually in the Screen Actors Guild also. I do background on TV shows and things like that. But so certainly the jobs are always in person, right? But you still, no matter who you are or what you do, you have to have an online presence, and you have to have your keep your computer skills up. So I know with all these platforms like Facebook and Twitter and all these different ones that are censoring people and pulling the rug out from under everybody, we do all have to pivot and keep looking at what else is on the horizon, because we don't know how long some of those are going to last. And I really personally think that Facebook's going to get broken up. It's just kind of a monopoly thing. So it's important to use the other platforms as well, because there's different people that focus on the different platforms. And so there may be someone, let's say on LinkedIn, that you would have never found on any of the others. So you almost have to be on all of the platforms, even though it is time consuming. So.
Right. That's great. So you're in entertainment, like you said, are you an actress?
I am. I'm in SAG-AFTRA, and I'm also a model. I've been at it for a while. I've been at it for quite a while. And I also do some production. Like I do all this on the side. I'm really like, this is my lunch break from my real job, right? My day job. But I do, but I do all this other stuff on the side because I just love it, and it really breaks up my regular job, and you meet all kinds of people, and you get to go places, and it's just a lot of fun. And I really miss it if I don't do it. So when all this COVID stuff started, that was just, it was brutal. You know, it was, I mean, I was working from home anyway on my regular job, but just to really kind of feel that, there's not fashion shows, or there's not as much activity. I do get called quite a bit. I'm lucky. I get called quite a bit for like to do the background work, mostly on the TV shows and movies and things like that. But I still can't quite bring myself to have to do a test every time, a COVID test every time. I mean, they're trying to wear me down, but literally I turn down work a lot, right? So that's disappointing. So I say, what can I be doing then while I'm home and not willing to do that just to do a job? What can I be doing? Well, what I can do is expand my network, right? I can reach out to more people, and then kind of make plans for, hopefully in the fall, things will open up, and then we can do more in person, the shows, the different things. So
that's great, Tracy. Thank you for sharing that. And I just want to encourage everybody to make sure you put your social media handles on your chat so that everybody could network and follow each other. But I think that's great, Tracy. We're going to go to the next one, and you could mute your mic. One of the things that I think Tracy mentioned is, you know, a lot of actors, and I've seen this in the news, that they're creating their own like variety shows online. They're doing comedy night. I see DJs doing like a dance party. So there's so many ways that people could connect with their audiences online, just FYI. And I love that Tracy's keeping busy. Let's see, Madeline is it Robertson?
Yes.
Hi, Madeline. How are you today?
Okay. I don't know if you, I guess you can't see me.
I can't. Yeah.
I'm not sure what that's about. Well, hello, ladies. I have enjoyed the Zoom because I'm not really in any industry. So trying to get to different meetings that relate to what I'm doing and learning has been great to do by Zoom. So
okay. What do you do?
I'm a physician and I have a patent on a product to reduce loneliness, and it's simply and I engage with you all. It's not a fashion product but it's made of fabric. So I'm trying to learn from all of you all about getting things made that are fabric. So it's simply a pillowcase with the shape of a hand appliqued or flocked onto the pillowcase in such a way so that the person puts their head on the pillow, they can touch the hand and have an experience of relating to someone who gave them the pillowcase. It only works as a gift. So I'm an inventor, I'm a physician, I'm not a marketing person or a fashion person. So I'm enjoying the Zoom so I can learn and
yeah, I love that. So is it that the pillow, you're getting a hug from the pillow? It's like giving
the pillow, you get a tactile experience. Apart, if let's say your mother is not feeling well, or you want to get in touch with her, you send her a card and she gets it in the mail. It sits on our bedside table. There's no, or you send her flowers that have a nice aroma, but they die. It's a tactile experience with a distant loved one when you can't be there all the time, and it helps to alleviate their loneliness.
Oh, that's
because
awesome.
It's in bed with them. It's a gift, and you can, because we can't hug each other, right. It's a substitute, and it seems to work. So but I have to get them manufactured, and I haven't figured that process out yet because I have a patent. I'd like to get it licensed so somebody else can really run with it, because that's not so much my expertise. Pardon?
Yeah, there's a lot of people on Fashion Mingle. You may want to connect with Melissa in Fashion
Yes,
Mingle.
she's fabulous. Yeah. So
manufacturers that can help, and you could also put your handle here on the chat. And Catherine, I know you have a lot of manufacturers.
Yeah, and I think one of the things is that it should be sustainable. It should be maybe go to Fab Scrap, because I don't know what the fabric needs to be made from, or if the hand needs to have some silicone or something like that in it. But if it's just fabric, it would be such a great thing to give love. And there's 3 kinds of love: love of self, love of others, and love of the earth. So this is a way to love the earth and love others.
Yes, right. I got the concept, and I've been in touch with, and I learned that from going to these meetings. And it doesn't have to be made of anything in particular other than it's a soft and comforting feel.
Yeah,
perfect.
I love that. So make sure, Madeline, that you put your handle here.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do that. So
go to the bottom, click chat,
right,
and you type it out. Do you see that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, yeah, and then we're gonna go to the next person. But I love that concept. I think
that's so sweet.
To really develop it more. I mean, I haven't seen it, but it sounds like a really great idea. And I think what Kat mentioned was great.
Yeah.
Sustainability is key. There's a lot of fabrics that now have CBD infused, where it makes people
there you go with your CBD, D. You put the D in CBD.
But anyway, I love it, Madeline.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a great idea.
I'm typing my stuff in now.
Okay, perfect. And then now we have Jess,
Hi.
who is a stylist. She styled fashion shows for me, for Kat, and she's worked with Melissa. So Jess, tell us about how you're networking as a fashion stylist, and how's it been working for you? Is Clubhouse working for you? Like, tell us.
All right, so I'm going to first start out with saying that I'm an extrovert. So
Okay.
network is critical. Like, I need to pick up on somebody's mojo. I need to look into their eyes. Like, I think there's something definitely that is a connection when you're in that live same space with somebody. But of course, not doing that, you know, we've got to now try and pivot. But I used to travel to New York City from Jersey for a lot of those networking events, regardless of what it was, simply because I got 4 kids at home and I need 0 excuses to need to leave the house. I need just the smallest little reason to leave the house. So it'd be great. I'd go up to the city and, you know, I'd connect with everybody. So now that we've shifted to Zoom, I think everybody got excited about Zoom for a while, and now we are seriously in Zoom fatigue, where people just are they're tired of putting their makeup on, their lipstick on. They just want to, you know, be themselves, which is nice. What happened with Clubhouse, and I think what's interesting with Clubhouse is that now that we know that this platform is out there, when you're on Clubhouse, to me, I feel like I'm talking to the people who are most on the cutting edge of technology. The people that are on Clubhouse right now and know how to use it and know how to use the functions of it really are the people who are embracing new technology. And I think that's very empowering. But I think now as we move into, you know, kind of that hybrid phase, I think one of the things I've learned is I book my time for networking as I would if it was a meeting. So if somebody's going to book time, they say, oh, you know, let's meet, let's have this. I could easily accept every single networking opportunity invite that comes along, but I really have to be strategic about what I'm going to do with my time, because those networking meetings are typically on Zoom. You have to be dressed up. You can't stand up from your desk for an hour, hour and a half, you know, and then when you're done, man, whew, it's like you just want to push yourself back. Like, I am eating something. So I think the COVID but I think in order to avoid that Zoom fatigue, I think it's best to just kind of be picky with where you're going to spend that time, which is why Clubhouse is going to just blow up, because it's people who can just jump on when they're, you know, maybe cleaning their bathroom or putting their groceries away, or, you know, they can be plugged in and be able to have that conversation without being tethered to the screen. So that's my thought.
Yeah, I think everybody's kind of zoomed out. So it's like hashtag zoomed out, Zoom fatigue. Like there's so many hashtags on social media, because I think it's great, but I do agree with you that Clubhouse is becoming like the next thing, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be something else even better. I mean, I had just had a conversation yesterday with somebody who's developing these technologies that I'm like, what the heck? So I'm just trying to grasp it and wrap my head around other things that are happening within the next 10 years, because you know, the industry is going to be changing and it's going to shock people. And if you're not on board with what's going on, whether it's social media, whether what other technologies are working for live events or for fashion, you won't survive. And so we're all trying to help each other in this industry and really connect everybody so that we're able to sustain not only our companies, our livelihoods, but we're learning. You got to constantly be learning. So I love what you shared, Jess. And now make sure that you put all your info on the chat. So who else is available that wanted to chat? I know that Glenn, are you still there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I could hear you. So tell us about your industry and how has this virtual networking has worked for you?
Well, it's perfect for the sustainable business because the carbon footprint's one of the big things that we try to diminish. So not traveling to events and doing stuff virtually really is saving a lot of that, which gives you kudos. Personally, I'm on Zoom, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Can't get into Clubhouse because I'm an Android user. I heard there is a backdoor, but you have to be really careful because it is a Trojan horse. So if anybody tries to go that way, don't enter the Trojan horse that comes up as an Android app yet, because the technology is in work, and they'd said it was the end of March, but it looks like it's 3 to 6 months more from what I just read.
Okay.
Which is
That's
fine. Now, Facebook, Instagram, everybody's pivoting, trying to come up with their version of. And I don't know that we can sustain multiple clubhouses, but I guess it's like clubs. You know, if you want to go to the Limelight, or you want to go to Studio 54 Cat, you know, you've got options.
Club hopping, we call it club hopping.
Yeah, club hopping. I think that'll actually be cool, you know, so why not?
And remember to leave quietly.
Yeah, you can leave quietly without anybody seeing you there, even. So I've pivoted my industry, and I really spent a lot of time on Zoom, and sometimes the Europeans book these Zooms, which are good for their time. So it's 6 a.m. my time, and you're, you know, trying to put on a good face because somebody may want to talk to you. It's difficult. So it goes basically from 6 a.m. till 8 p.m. or 9 p.m., depending on your schedule. My East Coast people, I typically do late morning or at 3 o'clock. But I've joined a lot of different groups, and I found that joining other groups, because if you're in the sustainable world, you're preaching to the choir, right? You're preaching to yourself. So you need to look outside that world. And I've joined an eco-activist group called CCL, which is on the carbon tax, which has just come to legislation, which is amazing. So that happened. I've also joined a group called Stop Ecocide out of Canada, which has taught me a lot about the First Nations and what's happened to their habitats. And then I invite them to sustainable events and sustainable platforms. And it's actually to talk so they can spread their word. So it's been good that I'm kind of supporting them, but it's really open mindset as well. I've also gone back to school. I'm doing a sustainable course, which is really difficult. And it's the history and the details that you may not have thought of that affected the climate change that we're experiencing. It's taught by Derek Sabori at the Underswell School of Fashion. He usually teaches at Orange Coast, but anybody can do it. It's 6 weeks at your own leisure. So it's a really good platform for you. I'm doing it and I'm learning so much. So, and I'm sharing it with you.
Can you put that information on the chat, if that's okay? Because I think that's really great information to share. And then also please share, Glenn, your information as well, your handles. That'll be great.
I will, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. I love what you're doing. And, you know, I know that Kat and so is Dale, Dale is connected with a lot of sustainable brands and companies and tech companies, and so is Kat. So I think that there's some really good synergy there. If you haven't networked before, you could do that now. Is there anybody else that wants to share any tips or anything that they're doing before we go to the next question? I know we have Alex, Charmaine, Nina, Danielle, Nora Woods, and Tracy. So if you unmute your mic, I'll know who to call on, and then we could share some stuff. If not, that's no pressure. You could just put your social handles here. So let me go back to the panel. So Kat, when do you think, I know you're working on a live event now, right? Coming September, correct? And so I know that there's going to be COVID, you know, people are getting their vaccines. There's going to be another COVID compliancy, hopefully, where more people could meet and gather together. So are you getting any kind of pushback on any live events that you're doing, or are you constantly monitoring, okay, we're going to do these live events, people are going to network, how are you going to pace it out where people could network safely and get your show safely?
Well, the next event I'm doing that's all live is Earth Day, and I'm doing it with the City of Love with Philadelphia. So we're doing trolleys, and we're doing love tour around the city of love. So we're going to Love Park, we're going to Divine Lorraine, the first racist integrated hotel. We're going to all these symbolic places around. So we have 2 trolleys, and then we're going to do photo ops and performances at each one of the spaces, and then wind up at the Hotel Monaco for an fashion brunch and a presentation with some of the special VIPs. So it's all going to be all live. So we're really examining what that's going to look like. I'm having Alex make compostable masks, and we're putting hearts on each mask. So the symbol of the love.live is the heart and the earth. So Alex is going to be one of our InKind sponsors, and he's on the call here, and he's just, it's a definite result of me networking in Mastermind and Clubhouse is I met him.
Oh, I can't hear you. Hold on.
You're on mute, Kat.
Kat, we can't hear you.
We came up with this idea. So he's going to be part of us staying safe on the trolleys and at the event in the city of Philadelphia on April 22nd,
Perfect.
Earth Day.
So make sure you put that on your chat. We did that in February, where we did the Times Square Fashion Week tour on all our buses. It was very successful. We had designers tour around New York City. We did the billboard, so it was very successful. We rented one of those tour New York City buses. We took pictures of all the major landmarks in New York, and it was a really, really great event. So I think what you're doing is going to work, because honestly, it worked for us in February. It was very safe. We made sure everybody had a Times Square mask. So I think it's great.
And temperature checks and all that. Yep.
It was just very safe. And what's great is the double-decker buses have an outdoor indoor. So
that's it.
It was super safe, and it worked for us. And we're doing it again, plus other stuff for September. So I think you're in the right track.
Yeah.
Dale,
and it's good.
Yeah, it's awesome. Dale, what about you? What's going on? What are you doing this year in September? What are you doing for Fashion Week? What's happening with the models? How are you moving forward with that?
Hi, we're moving forward with both, with online events, some through Soho Muse. We're also being asked to be involved in many outdoor events, Hamptons Fashion Week, events in Greenwich, Palm Beach, and right now, everything's in the planning stages, and everyone's planning and making backup plans just in case things go on. So we will definitely let you know when everything's set in stone and invite everyone through Fashion Mingle. So keep posted. And if you have any ideas, everyone's looking for collaborations more than ever now, I feel like. So, be creative, and we'd love to help you bring your ideas to fruition as well as ours.
Yeah. So how do models network? I mean, are they just doing Instagram, Clubhouse? Are they just, because I know
models do everything.
back in the day, like last year or a year ago, models would go to parties or client parties and mingle. And so how do they do it now?
Same as any other business. I mean, modeling at its core, it is a business. And the best have, they're on every platform, they're posting everywhere, they're connecting and reconnecting with contacts. So in addition to, having a manager and or an agent to provide contacts, we work as a team. So it's like people that we meet, we send to them, they talk to us about who they've been talking to, and we come up with a strategy and a plan to all work together. And we're putting more companies together, and we were doing it before COVID too, but I feel like now, we were putting together content creators with each other, so not people weren't just an island doing things themselves, and putting together photo shoots. The fashion industry was having problems with finances before COVID, so now it's even more challenging. But we would find, we had photographers, stylists, makeup artists, companies that would different company from head to toe. You know, there'll be a hat company, a makeup company, jewelry company, someone who puts the top on, the handbag, the shoes, and all different people contributing to one shoot. And, you know, we would co-create together, and then everyone, you know, would share what their knowledge and their contacts, and all work and grow together. So I feel like there's even more of that now. And models that have pivoted really quickly. You know, it was in March last year, we were asking every model, do you live with a photographer? Do you have photography equipment or a really good camera or an iPad? Do you have, you know, if you can afford it, get some screens and be able to take high level content, very professional photos and videos of yourself, and prepare it for the client. So many of the models.
Oh, Dale, your audio. Oh,
Can you
yeah.
hear me? Oops.
Now.
So we're providing spaces for content creators and models. If they don't have the setup in their home or their own office, we can host them at True, so we can all create together and help people and brands. So.
And Dale, what I love about that, you know, by the way, guys, anybody out there that's listening, Dale has 2 amazing studio spaces that you can rent from her. Whether you want to do, I don't know, something live on Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is, make sure you contact Dale. Somebody mentioned, which I think Nora Woods did, on LinkedIn. So really quick, how has LinkedIn worked for you as far as networking? Do you use that in the fashion industry? I know I use it a lot. My company is a PR marketing and branding company, and we, you know, we book people for morning shows, we do production, we do events, we do a lot. And this year, you know, we're working on Hamptons Fashion Week, Times Square Fashion Week, Latinista Fashion Week. So we got a lot going on this year. But, you know, we've been very lucky to use LinkedIn. I think it's an amazing, amazing platform. So does anybody want to share, if you unmute yourself and I'll call you, how LinkedIn has worked for you? Does it work for you in the fashion industry? Anybody want to share about that? Jess.
Yeah, hi. I want to just share that I took a LinkedIn course. It was just a small little workshop, a couple hours, and it changed my LinkedIn profile immensely. So if you have a LinkedIn profile now, it is a great place for me to show my profile, my work, all the talent that I've done in the past. So it's a great kind of like a formal place to put your stuff, where Instagram to me is more of a community piece. The LinkedIn profile is definitely shows that you are professional and you take that medium seriously, and it has worked well for me. But don't put up my opinion is, you know, don't have a lame LinkedIn profile. Like, don't have a lame photo. Like, make sure that your energy goes as much into LinkedIn, because people really do look at that, and the different things that you can do with LinkedIn to market to other people, to find other resources, to, you know, find connections. It's really quite easy, but you have to know what you're doing.
Yes, I agree. I know that my LinkedIn, we post articles, we post all the businesses under DCG, what we're doing, we post stuff with clients. We're part of groups on LinkedIn, professional groups. And so it's worked. I love it. I love doing it. And so it's kind of like a social media within like multiple. It's like I feel like they're like everything in one. So I love it. I use it, and it's worked perfectly for me. What about you, Dale? Do you use LinkedIn, or do you, I don't know, does that work for you in the industry?
Yes, I definitely use LinkedIn, and I'm going to be using more of it. Go back to what I used to do, posting articles and different things. I've kind of slacked off on that during COVID. I've been so busy with many other things, but many people reach out to me on LinkedIn, people that I've known for years, people that heard me speak, or just, you know, heard the name or found me online and want to do business together or have an idea. So a lot of people every day, I do spend quite a bit of time on the back end of LinkedIn, just responding to people or reaching out to people, because sometimes it comes up in business and it might even be a company we're working with and we haven't had contact with a particular person. I'm like, oh wait, I need to find that person. You know, it's like, we don't have their email, you know, and I'll just be like, reach out like, hey, we're doing business here with so-and-so's division, but I need to talk to you, you know? So it's like, and people usually respond very quickly, especially if you know them or other people that they know. So
Yeah.
I think it's, and I love to see how people are, connected, because if I'm having a meeting with someone, you're doing a little due diligence, it's like, oh wow, I didn't even realize, you know, one of my best friends or one of my business collaborators, you know, is partners or whatever, something related to the person I know, and you find a lot of common ground together. So I feel like it's a great information source.
What about you?
Do you have premium? Because I'm thinking of doing the premium one.
Yes.
Yeah, because you really can't be effective on LinkedIn without upgrading it.
Yep,
and I have the recruiter. I have the recruit, but you know what? Make sure you're using it. Like right now, I need to start using it more because it's expensive, and if you're not, it's kind of wasting.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking. If I upgrade, I'm gonna have to use it. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So you have premium, Dee?
Yep, I have premium. It is a little pricey, but it's worth it because I feel like you connect with everybody and they give you a lot more access than if you just have regular, you know. If you look at
that's a definite payoff.
Get rated in your LinkedIn, so a lot of people could endorse you. I mean, if you look at my LinkedIn, it's like considered I don't know, there's like a tier that they put you in. And so anybody who sees my LinkedIn profile will know, okay, this girl is serious. So just make sure that you're building your LinkedIn as something that people say, wow, this is a serious business person, not, you know, Pollyanna posting just pictures and looking cute. So just make sure you set yourself up. But anybody else? Nora, are you still there?
Yes, hello.
Nora, thanks for your patience.
Yeah, did you want to share what you do and how has the networking situation been working out for you?
For sure. So actually, I'm a fashion design student at Kent State University, so I'm not technically in the industry yet, although I am searching for internships right now. And LinkedIn has been a very good source of different job postings for internships, as well as getting my experience and my resume out there and making, when you can expand your network, I really like that because then you can link with other people that you have contact with. So I think that has been like a really cool experience.
That's awesome. So I'm gonna put my email here. We're looking for interns. And anybody else could post their email here, but you know, also Melissa knows some really great, you know, you could always connect with her and become part of the Fashion Mingle. Are you part of their Fashion Mingle networking? Because she has a whole platform for anybody who wants to intern or be part of any kind of internships.
I just registered for the membership, I think it was.
Yeah, she has something where she's connecting everybody. So I just put my email here, by the way, but definitely connect with Melissa because she's always connecting people who are looking for internships. And, you know, she's going to be doing some stuff. I know that she's working right now on her Fashion Mingle event that she does every year. She is going to do it this year. That's all I could say. I'm going to let her announce the details because, you know, we're all trying to navigate how we're going to be doing stuff this September stuff. You know, I was very lucky and we were very lucky to do something last year. It was a miracle event that we did it in the middle of the pandemic, in the middle of Times Square for Times Square Fashion Week. But, you know, now more than ever, we have to be more careful. So I know we're all trying to figure out because compliancy will change from now till September. So we'll see. And hopefully we'll all be able to meet, mingle, touch base. So on a quick note, because we have about 7 more minutes, where do you feel like, as far as like, do you feel like it's important to have an elevator pitch for yourself when you're doing these virtual networking events, or like when you're on, like, you know, like, is it important for you to have like All right, this is my intro. This is how I'm going to introduce myself. So Kat, do you want to share something?
Yeah, I mean, I go back to the old sound bites kind of thing and really craft a message that if somebody woke you up at 3 a.m. and said, what do you do? You could actually concisely describe what it is, because I tend to think that people ramble a bit on Clubhouse, and I think that the more concise, and also like, not that you have to create jingles and limericks and slogans and all that, but if you can really boil down what it is you do, like Runway The Real Way is fashion diversity on the inclusive catwalk. You know immediately when you hear that what it means, and I don't have to go into long explanation about how I was a size diversity advocate when I was a plus size model. No, you just say it and people get it. And you don't have to explain as much when you have a concise message. Yeah. So that's what I've crafted, those kind of sound bites and a concise message about what I do, hopefully.
Yeah, I love that. And that's important. Like, I could be here forever talking about all the stuff I've done. I just don't. I just say I'm Dee Rivera, CEO of DCG Media Group. People could Google me, look it up. But right. I think, it depends on who you're in front of, who you're presenting to. Obviously, if you're presenting to a client, you're presenting to somebody who obviously you want as a client, you got to have a little more. But like Pat said, you have to be concise. And what are the most important key things that you've done in your life in like 60 seconds that you could plug in and get the word out? I think that's very key. What about you, Dale? Like, I know when you're with clients, and I know you've done as much as we all have. So what's your elevator pitch? Do you have one?
I absolutely agree with Catherine and you that it needs to be concise. It's great if you can come up with a tagline that encapsulates everything in just a few words, and especially if you're doing TV interviews and written articles as well, you want it to be concise and use as few words as possible. I have to say, I do struggle with that because I'm a chatterbox and I do get a little long-winded. So it's like when I've really prepared for a speech or a TV show, I get it right. But when I just speak off the cuff, I do tend to ramble. So if anyone has any advice for me, I would greatly appreciate it. But usually what rolls off my tongue and what it usually comes out to be when I'm doing professional interviews. It's like, true model management represents all sizes, shapes, and ethnicities of models. And check us out online and we'll help you with whatever you need type of thing, because we really are one-stop shopping when it comes to models. And we've been inclusive and diverse since, before it was trendy.
Yes, I love it. Daniel, I see that you unmuted. Did you want to share a couple things?
Let me stand by. Oh yeah, I was just told to unmute, but yeah, I'd like to share. Oh yeah, I mean, let me give myself so you can see me really quick.
We have like 4 minutes, so you have seconds.
All right. Well, yeah, I've been doing a lot of virtual meetings and seminars and webinars with not only Fashion Mingle, but Curve and Informa. And I've learned a great deal, and also I've been writing a whole lot more in the last 13 months almost since this pandemic broke out. So yeah, being virtual has helped a great deal for me, as well as writing more content than I would normally on a pre-pandemic basis. So yeah, I mean, this I think has really been extremely helpful, to say the least, with reaching more contacts, writing more content out there, and then learning a lot more as I'm writing. Also, since I'm writing so much, I've also, try to be more concise with the articles that I put out, at least the daily celebrity pieces. But with with webinars like this, like Informa, Curve, and also Fashion Mingle, I get more detail with them, because to me they're my core group and my key elements to why I write in the first place.
Yeah.
And I mean, let's see, I would normally write maybe every 1 to 2 days, but since March 12th, 2020, the day the pandemic was declared, I have been writing like every single day ever since, whether it's one or a few others. Yeah, so that, and plus my blog, it's not like any other, I think. I mean, I operate on a news cycle. So it's like if it's something fresh that's coming out, I write it then and there. I mean, I don't wait on it for the most part. I mean, if I miss one or two, or if I can't get to it, I'll make sure I get to it as soon as I can. But I've had like a great bump in all the views and hits that I've gotten ever since COVID broke out. But yeah, being virtual is extremely good. It's helped me at least, and it can help anybody. But I can't wait till we're in person again. I mean, I'm waiting for that day where we can be full force. But I understand it's going to be hybrid for the moment and going forward. And I was about to ask one question. It's like, do you have to live in I mean, do you get like more background work if you're living in New York than as opposed if you're living in like any part of Jersey or whatnot?
Is that a question?
Well, yeah, that's like a small question.
Background work. We have like literally 2 minutes. What do you mean background work?
Oh, background work, like whoever was doing background work earlier for like
I can answer that, Tracy.
Oh,
I actually
hold on, Tracy. Hold on.
Sorry.
All right, Daniel, can you mute yourself, and then Tracy's going to answer really quick. Go, Tracy.
I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, no, I live 3 hours outside of New York City. I just go in for work. So you don't have to live right in the city. I've met people from Philly, from Boston on the background jobs. I only do background because of my other job, but no, you don't have to physically live there, but you need to be able to get there because that's where most of the work is. That's where, you know, all the big shows, Law and Order, all those kinds of things.
Yes.
It's very possible.
Also, Tribeca Film Festival, guys, is coming up. So there's a lot of opportunities there to network, by the way. I just registered and I just got my tickets. So I would recommend you, as if you're an actor, photographer, videographer, get your tickets while you can, because they are having a live, they're doing it outdoors, and the way they're setting it up is very, very cool. It's kind of like the Hudson Film Festival, kind of like how they put the movies out and stuff, hopefully weather permitting. But I think for a photographer, for a model, for an actress, anybody in that industry, it would be great to network during Tribeca Film Festival. And with that said, I just want to thank everybody, the panel, our mastermind panel, Catherine Schuller, Dale Noel, myself. Sharon wasn't here, but we send her our love, Sharon Movahead. We also send Melissa, who is the CEO and founder of Fashion Mingle. We send her our love. And I want to wish everybody and those who are celebrating a happy Good Friday, safe weekend, and a happy Easter. So I want to thank everybody.
Thanks, Dee.
You're welcome. I hope this
We had a great meeting. Thank you so much for pinch hitting.
Yes, thank you. And Melissa, we hope you feel better. We love
you.
You.
Better, Melissa.
Yes, feel
we love
better.
You.
Thank you,
Bye.
Dee, and everyone for contributing.
Have a great
Happy
week.
Easter.
Happy Easter,
Up
guys.
and down
Bye-bye.
the bunny trail. Bye.
Bye.